And Prataparudra king was a great follower of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu was not giving a single attention, like single 0.01% attention to King Prataparudra. He was the king of Orissa, like having all the wealth, having all the opulences, having all the followers. And he was ready to sacrifice everything to Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu was still not giving a pinch of attention to Chaitanya, to who? Prataparudra. Why? What was wrong in being king? He was a king, but he was a strong follower. He was a devotee. For example, a rich mayor of Dallas come to Kalachandji and he wants to offer everything to Kalachandji. Will we not respect him? Definitely respect him. But Mahaprabhu was still not respecting him. Why? Because he was a king. Nishkinchana Bhagavad Bhajano Mukasya Param Param Jigamashor Bhavasagarasya Shandarshinam Vishinam Athayoshitam Cha Ahanta Hanta Vishabhakshanto Abhashadu. According to Mahaprabhu, to associate with the material people like king and to go too much close to mothers, Mataji, it's not favorable for the devotion service. He's exemplifying by his behavior. And that's why Mahaprabhu was not condemning, but he was avoiding to meet King Prataparudra because he was materialist. He was dealing with the pound and siblings, and he has a lot of money, a lot of wealth, a lot of queens, and a lot of follower. So Mahaprabhu was setting. Of course, no one can degrade Mahaprabhu's consciousness, but still he was setting the example for the coming generation that how the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should follow. They should avoid too much mingling with a materialist and too much mingling with the Matajis. So the thing is that even that doesn't mean that we don't have to mingle with materialists. For the seva, for the preaching purpose, we have to go to the rich people to make them life member or give them books. But as much as possible, we should avoid the association of rich people, like extremely rich people, because being too much rich is a disqualification of being a devotee of Lord also. Because people who are too much opulent, the level of austerity, they cannot do. I'm not saying they cannot, but they are so much surrounded by the wealth and followers. For them to do the austerity of Bhagavad Bhakti is a little bit impossible, little bit difficult, kind of, not impossible. Of course, we should respect all the women as our mothers. There is nothing wrong in that, but too much mingling is also a little bit dangerous because, yes, Prabhu, please, thank you. Perfect, Prabhu. Of course, all the mothers are very respectful, and it's said that if we respect women properly, they can bestow a special kind of blessings, a very special kind of blessings where we can progress easily on a Krishna consciousness. So there is nothing wrong in mingling with Matajis, but we will be very careful. Even that is worse, it's Matra Swarsva Druhitrava Navivitakshano Bhavet Balvan Indriya Gano Vidvam Shakti Karshati. One should not sit with mother, sister, and daughter in loneliness, because the senses are so strong that it takes away the intelligence of even the intelligent person. Bhagavatam says that even the intelligent person get bewildered. If Bhagavatam doesn't say that foolish, we can ask this, oh, even mother and daughter? What are you talking about? But Bhagavatam says that even the intelligent person get bewildered. So we have to be very careful dealing with, because Bhagavad Bhakti is very rare, it's very sharp. Shura Shadhara Nishita Durataya. It is like walking on the razor's blade. Even a little mishap can bring you to the situation where your all sukruti, all your bhakti get destroyed. So that's a prehab. So now we are talking, now the verse is talking about Hanumanji. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is personally exemplifying how to respect Hanumanji. You know why Hanumanji is respected and for what he is respected for? Anyone who knows? Or anyone wants to volunteer? Sorry, Prabhu? Perfect. Service attitude of Hanumanji. Do you have any of the answers? There's nothing wrong, just guess it. He was a perfect Ram Bhakta. But more than Ram Bhakta, as Prabhu told, his service attitude was very miraculously powerful. He was considered a servitude of Ram Bhakta in what rasa? In a Dasya rasa. In a Dasya rasa. So we all know the great battle of Kurukshetra, where the chariot of Arjuna was having the Hanumanji on the top of the chariot. You know that, right? And you know what was the service of Hanumanji at that time? Just screaming. Yes, Prabhu. Yep, you're right, but can you be a little bit louder so everyone can hear you? Yes, that's good. That's perfect. Thank you. So the only service of Hanumanji was roaring, screaming heavily in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He was not even picking any weapons. His weapon was club, gada. But he was not picking anything. He was just screaming. And his screaming was enough to put everyone in fear and ran away from the battlefield. That was the service of Hanumanji. This is a very important verse for, at least for all of us in this situation, in the Christmas book marathon, where we can see that how Hanumanji was not wasting a single second for the service of Krishna, or for the service of Rama. At the same time, we have to learn other lesson also, that how Rama chastised Lord Hanumanji. Lord Rama chastised Hanumanji also once. But we'll come to that. But let's talk about how what was the attitude of Hanumanji's service. What was how grateful he was to Lord Rama, to his spiritual master, to his fellow associates, his god brothers, we can say like that, or his god family. Lord Rama was in the forest. He was exiled for 14 years, and he went with his brother Lakshmana and mother Sita. And we all know the story that how Sita was abducted by Ravana. And while flying, and Lord Rama was chasing the Maya Mriga, it's called the deer, which was illusory deer. And while he was chasing after deer, Ravana, the demon, he took the advantage and captured Mother Sita in a very cheating way, in a very deceitful way. Usually a man of a good courage will never touch anyone's wife. And if he wants to abduct that lady, he will do in a Kshatriya way. He will kill his husband and take away. But he did something very abnormal and very obnoxious. He took Sita, Mother Sita, in absence of Lord Rama, and he was fleeing. The very first thing they saw is Jatayu. And Jatayu was also like a Hanumanji. He was not different than Hanumanji. Although he was weaker than Hanumanji, but his service attitude was equal to Hanumanji. You know why? Was that? He fought. He know that he is going to die. Ravana was having 10 head. Powerful personality. Powerful like. Even the Indra, even Yamraj himself was scared of Ravana. What a poor bird can do in front of Ravana. But still, he didn't budge. His goal was to serve. And he did with a great effort, with a pure heart, with the honesty, with the gratefulness. But to the extent that Ravana chopped up his wings and he was died. So that was the attitude of Jatayu. That was the service of Jatayu, which is equal to Hanumanji. And then Ravana took Mother Sita to Sri Lanka. Then Lord Rama and Lakshmana found Hanumanji, and Sugriva and Jambavan, all the team of big Diggaj, like big monkeys, Angada. And then Lord Rama they found that Sita, Mother Sita is on the other side of Indian Ocean. So now the work is that 800-mile ocean. It's a distance of 800 miles. And who can do this work? Nobody can cross that ocean. They have to build a bridge, which they were ready to do that, but before knowing exactly where is she really over there, because Jatayu gave a vague information that Ravana took her, but they were not knowing where he took. Possibly he could have taken it in Lanka. Obviously it's true, but they were not sure. So they want to send a person to make sure that Mother Sita is over there, actually. And funny thing is that Lord Rama only have one thing with him, is his ring. They don't have a picture of Mother Sita. And they asked the monkey team sitting over there, can anyone do this work? Can anyone jump, cross the ocean and go to Lanka and find Mother Sita over there? So there was one person who can do that work. You know who was that person? Nope, Jambavan. You can do that. You're right. So Jambavan was able to do that, but he was not able to come back. That was good try, Narottam Prabhu. Please accept my obeisances. So, by the way, Narottam Prabhu is one of the Hanuman-like warrior. He preached in China. Okay, so yes, Jambavan was able to do that work, but the only thing that he was not able to come back. He could jump, but he was so old that he has no energy to jump back to the other shore. So now the problem is that who can do this work? And Hanumanji was having that power, but he was having no memory of that because of some. We will not go in that story, but we just want to I will highlight that thing. And they reminded Hanumanji that Hanumanji, you can do this work. You are only the person who can jump across the ocean and go to the other shore of the ocean and find Mother Sita. Look at the challenges Hanumanji has faced one after the other. And look at the way he handled it in a meticulous way. The reason why Mahaprabhu is praising Hanumanji is not just because of his Hanumanji. There are certain qualities which Hanumanji is imbibed. And we all at least have to try to imbibe these qualities, because even 0.00001% of quality of Hanumanji can make us a perfect devotee. Now let's start with the first challenge. He was reminded of his work that, okay, you can cross the ocean. Get ready. And Hanumanji became ready. Okay, I'll cross the ocean. And he lifts, Jai Shri Ram, he lifts the ocean. And he was flying at the more faster than wind. And it is said in the Ramayana that when Hanumanji is flying, the winds and clouds are like, when you see the rocket flying in the sky, how that we can see the white line in the sky, right? Similarly, when Hanumanji was flying, there was a big line of white clouds and wind was gusting behind him. And he was crossing all of them fearlessly. And the first thing when Hanumanji was crossing the ocean, you know what first thing came in front of him? It was a mountain Menaka. A mountain Menaka came. Now listen, this is an amazing thing. Mountain Menaka came and asked Hanumanji, it's 800 miles worth of travel. I want to do some service to you. Can you come and sit on me for a few minutes? Because you are doing service to Lord Rama. Now listen this. When you serve the Krishna or Rama or serve any big personalities, all the constellation, everything become very auspicious, and the helps comes. Even the challenging tasks become easy. It's very important to understand. Whatever task we take in our service, it's very hard. Even if it is very hard, seemingly seems very hard, and it thinks that if we feel that we're not able to do this for any reason, we're not able to do this. It's so challengingly hard. But by just mere taking the service or even trying to take the service, everything will become easy. Krishna will make sure that all the impediments will be removed from your path, and you'll be able to accomplish that thing, and you will be succeeded. And we know the example of that. What is the example? Prabhupada. And also, I'm going over there, but first is a Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna and Arjuna. It was seemingly it was challenging, very challenging task for Arjuna. He gave up his weapon. He was not willing to fight. But you know what? Krishna explained the Bhagavad Gita like till 1878, and then he say, Kachit etat shrutim partha. Did you hear me, Partha? Tvai ekagrina chetasha. Did you hear with the attention? And then Arjuna says, Nasht moha shmitir labdva tvat prasadad maya achyut stito ashmi gata shande. And now I will do what you will say. Karishye vachanam tava. And Krishna asks, are you sure you're going to do what I am saying? Yes, Krishna, I'm ready. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, let's fight. And he was fighting. One day, his son, Abhimanyu, was slaughtered mercilessly in a wrong way. And Arjuna was lamenting. And Krishna says, how much more? Krishna, do you understand? My son has been slaughtered mercilessly. Can you give me some time? Sorry, my man, we don't have time. Get up. You asked me to fight. I asked you to fight and you agreed to fight. So there is no lamentation. Look at these people who are showing the gratefulness, who are ready to fight for Krishna. They are ready to fight with whatever situation they have in their life. Imagine if we are in that situation. Our son or father or mother has died. And Krishna says, after 5 minutes, the body is still there, it's not cremated. Leave the body, let's go for service. That was the attitude of Hanumanji, that was the attitude of Jatayu, that was the attitude of Arjuna. And that's why Mahaprabhu is praising those personalities. Okay, so he was fighting, his son was killed mercilessly, and still he fought. He succeeded, they won. Hanumanji now, he's leaving the Lanka, Menaka came in front of him, and asked, Hanumanji, can you sit for some time and rest? Hanumanji said, no, I cannot do that. Why? Because my spiritual master has given me some service. And I have a goal to achieve. I have a mission to do. And I cannot take rest before that. And Menaka says, where are you going to go take a rest? It's a big mount. There's a big leaping. There's a big jump over there. Hanumanji said, okay, because you offer me service, I will just touch you and I will go. And when I will come back, after finding Mother Sita, I'll make sure to take rest on you. I promise you. Look at the attitude of the person. This is an example for us when we are given some service, how seriously we are taking the task. Are we wasting? We are not saying not to rest. We are not saying not to. Krishna said, Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshta. We are not saying not to recreate, not to take rest. Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshta satakarmashu. He himself told that. You should eat properly, you should sleep properly, you should recreate properly. But when service is given, it should be one pointed attention. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekaha kuru nandana bahushakhayarantasya bhutayo vyavashayinam. This is very important, those who are resolute in their purpose, those who are fixed in their goal, those who know where they are going, they can attain that stage. And those whose determination is many-branched, they cannot do anything. Simple example, very simple. We'll make this class very simple. We'll give a simple example which all of us know that. Arjuna, he was named Gudakesh. You know why he was Gudakesh? You know the meaning of Gudakesh? Gudakesh means a person who doesn't sleep at the night. Why did Dronacharya give the name to Arjuna Gudakesh? Because Arjuna, when was learning the lesson in the morning, in the night time he was not sleeping, but he was doing his homework, learning that skills. To the extent one day, Dronacharya was giving a test to all the students. Duryodhan was there, Yudhishthira was there, Karna was not there, sure. Bhima was there, Nakul, Sahadev was there, Dushashan was there, and he gave a homework. There was a fish there was a sparrow on the tree. And Dronacharya asked everyone to pierce the eye of the sparrow. We all know this story, but we have to remember that what was that extent of their sacrifice, extent of the determination, extent of their attitude, like that gratefulness toward the service. So everyone came and they asked a question. Dronacharya asked a question: Can you pierce the eye of the sparrow? First came Duryodhana, then, as usual he wants to be first. And yes, I can pierce, my sir. Okay, what you can see? I can see the trees, I can see the leaves, I can see blah, 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 blah. Okay, sorry, step back. All the people came. Okay, you want to pierce? Okay, sure. What can you see? I can see green parrot, I can see this. Everyone was failed. Arjuna came. Arjuna, can you please pierce the eyes of the sparrow? Yes, sir. What you can see? I can see anything. Seriously? What you can see? I can just see the eye. Can you see the top of the eye? I can't see that. Can you see the underneath the eye? I can't see that. I can only see the eye. That was Arjuna. That was Hanumanji. That was Abhimanyu. He mercilessly got slaughtered, but still he didn't budge. He was knowing that if we go in the chakra view, in the phalanx of army, he's not going to come back. He was knowing that, but he didn't budge. Hanumanji did budge. He was knowing that he's going in some unknown place where he could get killed. They didn't budge. And that's why still when we remember the great battle of India, we still remember these personalities. Abhimanyu, Arjuna, Karna, Bhishma. Those are the level of people who fought for the cause. Yeah, so Menaka came and Menaka told that we rest, and Hanumanji completely denied. And he was going ahead. And there was next thing which came is Simhiki. Simhiki was a great demoness, ocean, as a demon in the ocean. And she was like, explain that she was thousands of miles long, thousands of miles broad, and thousands of miles down. And he asked Hanumanji, you cannot cross through this mouth. Hanumanji said, why? That I'm going to devour you. But why? Because no one has crossed this mouth. If you can go through this mouth, then you can go for Lanka. That's a challenge, And that was a challenge put by the demigods to see how, because they were putting these challenges to see how Hanumanji can cross through the challenges. Because if Hanumanji manages to cross these challenges, he's sure going to win Lanka. Lanka was not a joke. Lanka was not a joke. Lanka was completely a secure, fortified place of Ravana, guarded by thousands and thousands of equally powerful Rakshasas. Nobody can go in Lanka. Nobody. And nobody, even if they go, they cannot enter the Lanka. If someone enters, they cannot come out of Lanka for sure. That was the power of Ravana. Yamraj was under the feet of Ravana. Can you imagine how powerful he was? And he was doing the service for Lord Rama, trying to challenge that powerful personality. Ravana was completely powerful personality. So where we are? Okay, Simhiki came. And Simhiki say, okay, go in the mouth, I'm going to devour you. If you can cross the mouth, hey, you pass the challenge and you can go further. And this was all these exams were placed by demigods just to see that how powerful Hanumanji was. And that's the reason why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praising Hanumanji. So Hanumanji became more wider and more taller than Simhiki. And Simhiki became more wider and more taller than Hanumanji. And it keeps on increasing, expanding to the extent Hanumanji became small immediately, like this small. He went in the mouth and came out. So listen, look at this. Hanumanji's intention was to become big. Hanumanji's intention was not to become big. Hanumanji's intention was not to become big. Hanumanji's intention was how to do my service. We want to show everyone how big I am in my service. Look at this. I distributed 110 books a day. Look at this. How beautifully I dress deities today. I can see with the binocular. Look at this. We challenge our... I'm sorry, I'm just joking with... He's my good friend and mentor. So the point is that we want to be big by doing our service. And there is nothing wrong. This is a material energy. It's very hard. Daiviyesha gunamai mama maya durataya mama eva prapadyante mayam eta tarantite. Do you think it's easy to cross this energy? Radhanath Maharaj was saying one day that whenever, Prabhuji or Guru Maharaj, that whenever I hear of this verse after 50 years, I feel that Krishna writes that this material energy is so hard, it is very difficult to cross. Now Maharaj is saying, I feel it is impossible to cross. After 50 years of strong, of course Maharaj is very humble. He is a very intimate associate of Radha and Krishna. But still Maharaj is pouring the example that I am saying that it is impossible to cross. So even small amount of service we do, we get success. It's easy to get that level that, hey, I'm something. It's very easy and nothing is wrong in that because we all are covered by the material modes of nature. And if there is no one to check us, like the group of devotee will say, Prabhu, please come down. Come down. Then we'll grow and grow to the extent we'll bust one day. So the Hanumanji's intention was not to become big. Hanumanji's intention was to become small. Hanumanji was intention to do the service, regardless whoever he is. His goal was there, his mission was there. Most of us, we are from India. I don't know about America, but I've seen in India, when the horses are running, they have the blinders. You know why they're blinders? Does anyone know why the horses are blinders? Because they don't want to get distracted by anything. They want to run. Their goal is just... That is the reason they are blinders. Similarly, Hanumanji was blinded. His goal was not to become big, not to become small. His goal was given by spiritual master to go and find Sita, Mother Sita. And that was his goal. Doesn't matter if he's small. So he becomes small, he went to Simhiki, he come out, and hey, period, it's done. And she says, oh wow, you are smart. You can go, sir. I'm blessing you, sir. You will succeed in your endeavors. Look at the blessings she's giving. The more we become small, the more people will bless us. This equally applied to me, equally applied to everyone. This is a very good lesson to understand. The more we become small and more we achieve for Srila Prabhupada, more the people will recognize us. Prabhupada was smaller than the smallest and 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 the smallest. And look how much he achieved. Look how much he achieved. Prabhupada was a complete successful businessman in his pharmaceutical business. One of the astrologers told to Prabhupada that he will be the richest person in India. Prabhupada was not having any less in his life. He doesn't have to do what he has done for us. He was having Vrindavan Dham. He was having initiated by spiritual master. He was having everything to finish and get a house in the Vrindavan, which you all do. Let me secure a house in Vrindavan. I don't know what is the need for that. Well, it's a personal choice. Let me get a house in Vrindavan so I can do at the end of the life, I can do bhajan. And Prabhupada, at the end of the life, he left the Vrindavan and he came to America. That was Prabhupada. Can you imagine a time of retirement for old person was actually the starting point for this person? That was Prabhupada. That was Hanumanji. Yavad vitto pajana shakta tava nij parivrokta. Pascha jivati jarjara dehe vartam kopina pichhati gehe. When you are strong and stout, even your family member will love you. But when you are not strong, when you are old, even kids will say you get out, dad, from your house. You are useless. Go to an old house or go to an old shelter. At this point, this person has started. This is our Hanumanji. Hare Krishna. So this is our Hanumanji, where this person has started at the age of 67. How much he struggled in India? Let's start with India, how much he struggled. He lost his business. He lost his family members. He was practically homeless multiple times. Multiple times. He tried to establish a league of devotees in Jhansi. They threw him out. They cheated him. The house was gifted to him. They told him one day, Mr. Bhayal, sir, you cannot stay in house anymore. Without any prior notice. At least they should have 2 months of prior notice. Prabhupada, I need this house. Can you please vacate in 2 months and find some new shelter? We can see how Prabhupada is Hanumanji. But no, there was no any prior notice. Prabhupada asked to leave the house in the middle of nowhere. And he came out with his deities, Lord Chaitanya, in hand with the homeless. Like, there was nothing where to go. So Prabhupada decided to go to Mathura in Keshav Maharaj ashram. And he started writing Gauda Patrika. And he was fine over there. But Bhakti Sarang Maharaj asked him to come in his ashram to write Sajjana Thoshini, harmonist. And you know what? How did he ask Prabhupada to come to his ashram? Prabhupada, when you come to the ashram, take a 3rd class train. Take a 3rd class train. When you get down to Delhi, take a tanga. Take a cheaper tanga. So walk 1.5 miles. So get a cheaper tanga. This is how Prabhupada lived the life. Save like 1 penny. To save 1 penny, he struggled a lot. He was having no money to print the books. He was having no money to write the. He was having no money to get money to anything for it. He was completely homeless. He was having no money to wear dhoti also. Sorry about that, Prabhu. So the reason I'm talking about Prabhupada, because Prabhupada was not less than Hanumanji, and we have to understand. We have to understand how much we are blessed by this Hanumanji. Our Hanumanji is Prabhupada. No, Prabhu, that's perfect. Thank you. I'm talking too much. Yeah. He was practically homeless. He was having no money. Right now, we have nice books. Our goal is just to go out and preach. Prabhupada was not having that honey, that nectar. Prabhupada was writing. He was proofreading. Then he was going to the market to get a good papers, cheaper but high quality paper. He has to negotiate with the people over there. Once he get a paper, he will walk because he doesn't have money for rickshaw. So he walks. Yes, he will take rickshaw only when the papers are there with him, so that paper doesn't get folded in the bad way. So he takes rickshaw for that. One day Prabhupada was in Radha Damodar temple. He was sleeping in extremely hot on the ground. When sannyasi came, when Maharaj came and said, Prabhupada, can you get something for you? We are sleeping on the ground. Prabhupada told them, my Guru Maharaj told that every bit of money should go for printing the books. I cannot spend for me. That was Prabhupada. He was not spending a single penny. He was going for a printing press, walking miles and miles at 40 degrees. When he come to the printing press, his name was Sundarlal Jain. And when he come to Sundarlal Jain, he was completely weak at that time. And Sundarlal Jain asked, Prabhupada, did you have breakfast? Prabhupada said, I don't have money for that. He has money to print the books, but he doesn't have money for his breakfast. Does he need to go all these things? He doesn't have money to eat prasadam. We are eating, after half an hour, we have like 9 items ready for us. Prabhupada didn't get an opportunity to add 9 items over there. And then Sundarlal Jain bring prasadam for him. Breakfast, and Prabhupada eat prasad at that time. Prabhupada was completely, this is India, not even America. I'm talking about India, how much is struggle in India, our Hanumanji. And then after proofreading, then he go for distribute books. We have a vans with the heated vans, right? We have everything in the van. We have a nice country, America, freedom of speech, First Amendment right. We can do anything, we go to any college, we can preach anyone, we can go to Harvard and preach. Prabhupada was having no facilities to preach. Prabhupada was walk with the slippers, with the flip-flops, with the torn dhoti and one woolen hat, with a Back to God magazine in the hand, going to tea stalls, one tea stall to other tea stall. Hanumanji, our Hanumanji, can you please take this? Not to make money, because his Guru Maharaj asked him to preach. One pointed attention of our Hanumanji. He doesn't have to do all these things. He did it. He knocked the door of people. Get out, you old man. Prabhupada has to face all these things. In India, not in America. I'm not in America yet. I'm in India, right? And one day he was distributing Back to God magazine. One cow, in India, the streets, a cow comes and he knocked Prabhupada down. And Prabhupada on the ground. Prabhupada completely fall down on the ground. Some people came and lift him up. And when he got up, he started distributing books. One day, in the heat of 110 degrees, our Hanumanji he was unconsciously, he was fainted in the Delhi, in a heat stroke. He completely became unconscious. The people woke him up. And the moment he got woke up, he started distributing books. He was homeless. He was going from one house to other house, one temple to other temple. People sometimes invite him, sometimes get him out, sometimes they get out from here. His intention was not to stay there, it was to distribute books. So he was using these facilities to distribute books. Now the real time came. He didn't give it up. He had never faced any success till here. But still, his aim at the age of 70 years was to cross the ocean and come to United States of America before 50 years. Can any one of us, we are not even 70 years of age over here, can any one of us at the age of 70, before 50 years, can even dream of coming to America? Can even dream? With no clothes. First thing, we come to America, it's where we get a jacket, winter jacket. This old man doesn't have money to get anything for him. A New York winter, it goes to negative 10 sometime. How can you stay without anything over there? He managed somehow to get the cargo ship tickets, fasting whole day, sitting on the stairs, Sumuti Morarji, a Skindia steamship company. Somehow he managed to meet her, convince her, and she told her, Swami, don't go to America, you will die. That was her words. Swami, don't go to America, you will die. We need to understand how much this Hanumanji has struggled for us. Don't go to America, you will die. Somehow he convinced, don't worry, if I'll die on the battlefield. I'm very impressed, Mataji, by Dhanvir Maharaj. If anyone see Dhanvir Maharaj right now, anyone see Jayapataka Maharaj right now, they will cry. They will cry. Literally, they will cry. They are physically completely gone. But every single second is going for preaching. These are the Hanumanjis of our movement. These are the personalities who has giving every single bit of their blood, energy for our movement. So they're equal to Hanumanji, they're not less than Hanumanji. So where are we? Prabhupada. He somehow managed to get the ticket of cargo ship, not the first class compartment in a ship, a cargo ship where people throw the luggage. And Prabhupada was given a smaller room over there. And Prabhupada was saying that, oh, Krishna is so merciful. He gave me such a beautiful, nice room to stay. 40 days in a cargo ship with the 2 heart attacks. 2 heart attacks. He managed 2 heart attacks, survived. Somehow he came to the Boston Pier. And when he came down, when he saw the Boston Pier, he saw the Americans, and first thing came in his mind, how I am going to preach. No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. These are the 4 pillars. I'm sorry, we are not criticizing any culture. Every country has a different culture. Every geographical region has a different socio-economical status and the way of living. America is based on the 4 pillars. Meat eating, illicit connection, gambling, and intoxication are the 4 pillars where America is growing on. Right now it's 2024. We're talking about 1970s. 50 years. There was no even Patel Brothers at the time. There was no Indian grocery stores. Prabhupada, a pure sadhu from Vrindavan, when he went in the cargo ship, he took 1 suitcase, a steel suitcase. You know what was there in suitcase? 2 woolen chadars, 2 jackets, 2 warm shoes. No, nothing like that. Bhagavatam. Just Bhagavatam. He has no clothes. Doesn't matter. He has a clothes. It doesn't matter for him at that time whether he has a clothes or not. What mattered from him was, I'm going to preach to the West. Maharaj asked him to take the books over there. Let me take the first canto of Bhagavatam. And that's why he went from Mathura to Vrindavan. People go to Vrindavan to retire, but he went to Vrindavan to write Bhagavatam so he can get ready for preaching. And every night he was screaming and crying at Rupa Goswami's Samadhi that please give me strength so I can preach in West. That was our Hanumanji. He was crying every single night. And one Pujari saw this with his personal eyes. Because when Prabhupada came with the white elephants in India, he told, your Guru Maharaj is not a simple common man. Every night I saw him crying and cleaning the Samadhi of Rupa Goswami. And while cleaning, he was crying and crying that please give me strength so I can preach in the West. To go to the West with no money, with no manpower is not easy, my guys. This is West, this is America. They don't care for you. This is not India where someone is, Prabhu, can you imagine 70 years old guy in New York? When you when you fall down in New York, no one cares. Have ever anyone been to New York? You been to New York? How the New Yorkers work? New York is the worst place I can be to. They don't care who you are in their life. He came. Suppose if Prabhupada walking in -10, if he would have fallen down, he's died. Without even finishing the movement, without his finishing goal, that Hanumanji would have died. And nobody would have cared, because one old sadhu from India came wearing some dhoti with the holes at -10 degrees. He died. Finished. There is no Krishna conscious movement at that time. He managed to survive with the 2 heart attacks. When he came down, he went to doctor to check my heart is okay or not. No, he didn't went to doctor because he don't have money to go to doctor. He doesn't have time to go to doctor. Insurance. How does it work in America? Insurance. Old sadhu from Vrindavan, he doesn't know what is I for insurance. He was completely depending on Krishna. Completely. Helpless, but powerful. He was roaming in the street of New York, disguised. A powerful associate of Lord Krishna is walking in the New York, and nobody knows who he is. So somehow he managed to came in the New York. And that's a real struggle started. He was kicked out from place to place, place to place. He was forced to go to Bowery. Now my question, ma'am, have you seen the Bowery in New York? Have you anyone heard about the word Bowery? I've been to Bowery to distribute books just to see how the Bowery work like. Nobody can stay in Bowery. Nobody can stay in Bowery. They don't have guns, but they have knives and scissors, because they cannot afford guns. They are so poor. They're homeless. They're druggards. They're completely druggist. They stay on the high level of drugs, very high level of drugs. Nobody is sane over there. They stay in the garbage can. They stay with the rats and mouse. They vomit outside. They pass stool outside. I've seen that. And Prabhupada was staying there. They have knives and scissors. So if they see that person has money, they don't care. Even police doesn't go there. Police is scared to go there. And they don't care going there because they're homeless, bums. They eat from the garbage, whatever is left over. Prabhupada was there. Prabhupada was there. Why he was there? For whom he was there? For him? He want to make money like Indians coming to America and making money over here? He was not for that. He was there to give something to Americans. And why he has to do this? Staying in the Bowery, that was the height of everything he faced. That is not a height. To the extent he was opening Radha Krishna temple in the Bowery, he decided, this is our first ISKCON. And he made a first disciple. You know the name of the first disciple? Not disciple, but the first person. David Allen. David Allen was a completely drugged person. He stayed on the high on the drug. But still Prabhupada made him disciple. Still Prabhupada was ready to give him Krishna consciousness. To the extent one day David was so highly drugged, he came before Prabhupada with the red eyes. Highly intoxicated. And Prabhupada understood that something is wrong over here. And Prabhupada said, Allen, are you okay? And Allen was coming close to Prabhupada, trying to harm him. And Prabhupada ran, keeping everything, his Bhagavatam, his typewriter, his dictaphone, everything he left. He ran down. And when Prabhupada was walking out of the Bowery, the druggers sleep on the floor and Prabhupada was jump on them. And Prabhupada ran outside. And Prabhupada was once again homeless. Once again he was homeless. No typewriter, no dictaphone. His Radha Krishna's temple dream was over. He was homeless. He has only two choices left for him at that day. Either go to the Skindia ship, get the ticket, go back to India, or find the location in the night to stay. Otherwise, it was cold to stay anywhere outside. Somehow, Eva and Carl, the two people, managed to put him in the house. But they were so rough to him. They were eating meats, they were taking intoxication, they were in cats and dogs, to the extent Eva threw Prabhupada out of his house. Again, he was homeless in New York. Sir, when we go to New York at this time, Mataji, Haribol, Mataji, we are talking about Srila Prabhupada. Please have respect. At least not about this class. Prabhupada who has given life and cause for us. The reason we are sitting and doing tilak, who taught us, is Prabhupada. Respect come first, Mataji. This person has given everything for us. I'm sorry, my humble obeisances, but these are our Hanumanji. So, yeah. Then Prabhupada went to Michael Grant, Mukund Maharaj, and he opened on 26th 2nd Avenue, he opened Master's Gift. Now everything was great. ISKCON is open, Los Angeles was open, Montreal was open. Now there was a time for Prabhupada to rest, because he did such a hard work. Hanumanji, now is the time to sit on the Menaka mountain. Prabhupada has got a lot of Menaka mountain. Prabhupada, please take rest. No, I have a vision. 70 years old. Now Prabhupada has time to take rest. But you know what? Prabhupada decided not to take rest. Prabhupada was working 10 times more than before. This was Srila Prabhupada. Can you tell me, is he different from Hanumanji? Is he different from Hanumanji? And Prabhupada is also praised by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for that. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is constantly praising Srila Prabhupada for what he has done, what nobody can do, even dream of doing. This temple, these festivals, we had a nice festival yesterday, this feasting, all is because of our Hanumanji, who has jumped Indian Ocean with 2 heart attacks. I just described the superficial life of Srila Prabhupada. I have not got deep. If I'll go deep, we require like at least 10 hours. Each and every word. You know that verse? Krishna Tulya Bhagavata Vibhu Sarva Ashraya Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Arthaya. If we take one word from Prabhupada's life, it takes weeks and years to explain that words. We are just explaining, we're not even diving deep in the ocean. We are just at the surface right now. Because if we try to go deep, we'll be lost. And we cannot even go deep because we don't have the guts. I'm sorry, including me, I'm sorry. We don't have the guts to go what Prabhupada had done. He leaped the Indian Ocean 800 miles with no money, $0, landing in New York with $0. Does anyone have guts like this? And he opened hundreds of centers for all of us. Now this Hanumanji is asking one thing from us. One thing. Prabhupada is having no facility to preach. He was distributing, he was printing, he was proofreading with fatela dhoti, with torn out dhoti in the cold, with cow knocking him down, with the heat giving him heat stroke. Now this Hanumanji is asking one thing to us. Can we distribute his books? Because that was a dream of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj sent 2 disciples, 2 austere brahmachari. Prabhu, how much time I have, Prabhu? Italy? Yeah. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj sent 2 austere brahmachari to England and Germany. Bhakti Born Maharaj, Bhakti Sagar Maharaj. Bhakti Born Maharaj was in Germany, Bhakti Sagar Maharaj was in England. Both of them failed. I'm sorry. I'm not saying they are austere Naishtika brahmacharis. Prabhupada was Grahastha. Our Hanumanji was Grahastha. But those God brothers were Naishtika brahmacharis, powerful, fluent in Vedas, equal to Prabhupada. But they failed. They can't make one person Krishna conscious. Prabhupada failed in India. Srila Prabhupada, our dear Prabhupada. He cannot make one person. They cannot make those powerful brahmachari, Naishtik brahmachari, our spiritual fathers. They cannot make one brahmachari in England and Germany. In fact, one king of England probably came and asked Bhakti Sagar Maharaj, I want to be Brahmana. So Bhakti Sagar Maharaj told, okay, 4 principles, no meat eating, no illicit connection, no meat eating, no gambling, something, the 4th thing. No, it's there. And they, oh, sorry, I cannot do that. And Prabhupada, not even Prabhupada, look at the disciples of Prabhupada. Mukund Prabhu Maharaj, Janaki Mataji, Malti Prabhu, Sham Sundar Prabhu, Gurudas Prabhu, Yamuna Mataji. With the one voice of Prabhupada, they left England. And they struggled hard, to the extent that they were coming back. But the only reason was they're not coming back because the smiling face of Prabhupada. They want to, they want to serve Prabhupada sincerely. They were not austere brahmacharis. They were not Naishtik brahmachari. In fact, the life culture is very different. They were on highly psychedelic drugs before a few months. That's the culture of America. 13 years you've been taught to take marijuana or cocaine or heroin. If you're good enough, you take marijuana. If you're high level, you take cocaine and heroin, amphetamines, methamph. I meet these people, heavily drug people in book distribution. So they were, before 3 months, they were on this. And just by the word of Prabhupada, they gone to England and they create a great thing in England. They open Krishna consciousness in England. By meeting Beatles, nobody can even go close to Beatles. What was the qualification? Just to sincerely follow the instruction of Prabhupada. What was their intention? They were grateful for what they're getting. Doesn't require to understand Shastras. Shrutim apare shrutim avtare bharatam ane bhajantu bhavabhita aham iha nandanam vande yashalinda parambrahma. People who are fear of material existence will worship Shrutis, Shmitis, will read Mahabharata, will read several Sastras like Vedic Shastra, but we don't care for this. We are worshipping Nanda Maharaj, on whose courtyard Lord Krishna is playing. No, we don't even worship Nanda Maharaj. We worship Srila Prabhupada. We don't care for any Mahabharata. We don't even care for Srimad Bhagavatam. We don't even care for any Chaitanya Chaitamrita. We care for one thing. If we understand one thing, that we have to serve Srila Prabhupada, everything, all the knowledge of Vedic scripture will come immediately. No doubt. Period. And even if you know all the Shastras by heart, even if you're sharp in refuting all the philosophies, in challenging all philosophers, and you're going to win your Digvijay like Keshav Kashmiri, still you're failing because you fail to understand the mission of Guru Maharaj. Yasha prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya prasadat nagati kutopi dhyayastuvanstasya yashastri sandhyam vande guru shri charana ravindam. We sing every single day. Every single day this verse. There is no need to understand all the scriptures. I'm not saying not to read. We have to read. Because without reading, preaching is not possible. We have to read. But after reading, our heart is not going to this old man. Your reading is vain. Our reading is vain. Our reading is useless. We are not over here to preach how strong and how powerful we are by showing our pedantic philosophy or eloquence in speaking and refuting other philosophers. Our service is bad. Sir, please can you take this book? That is the success of Krishna consciousness. If you can do that, if you can get out of the false ego of being a great devotee and go in the street and preach, what Prabhupada did it, then our life is successful. Well, we don't have to be a preacher like every day we go and preach. Whatever time we have once in a week. Prabhupada was writing, dictating, proofreading, bargaining for the papers, high quality of paper, and then he was printing, and then he was distributing. We don't have to do all this thing. We are already, everything is ready for us. There is a big book room over there. Boxes and boxes of books are there. You have to just go out and say, sir, can you just take a book? We don't have to say Krishna about, sir, it's yoga meditation. Let's use some wrong word. Can you just take a book? Well, the reason of using wrong word doesn't matter what word you used. Doesn't matter. One day, Prabhupada and Guru Das and Tamal Krishna Maharaj went to a king of India to make him a life member. They gave him a lot of books. But he refused to take the books. He became a life member. So Guru Das asked Prabhupada, Guru Das Prabhu, His Grace, that Prabhupada, did I spoke something wrong while preaching him? Prabhupada said, listen, Prabhupada said, doesn't matter what you speak. My books are the quality in and quality out. If he read one line, he will surely be, his life is successful. Even if he touched the book, he will get a human life. Our mission is our movement is a missionary movement. We all are Hanumanjis. We are not supposed to stay in the temple, eat 5 kilo of halwa and just sleep. Nope, that's not a process. I'm sorry, Mataji. It's equally applied to me also. It's not a process. And we all are preachers. To some extent, we all are doing book distribution because we all are indebted to Prabhupada. We are indebted to our Hanumanji, who has given his life and soul for the process of Krishna consciousness. So, I don't know why did I started speaking this thing, but this is, yes. So, our Srila Prabhupada was actually Hanumanji, and he showed by his example. And our goal is to serve Srila Prabhupada. Doesn't matter we go back to Godhead or not. Doesn't matter we are going back to Krishna or not. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at this point. What thing matters is that, are we really loving Prabhupada? If you love your kid, if you love your wife, you'll do anything for your girlfriend or wife. Are we really loving Prabhupada? If Prabhupada doesn't want us to go back to Godhead, sure, Prabhupada, I'll keep serving forever and ever. If Prabhupada wants us to go back to Godhead, no, Prabhupada, sorry, can I stay more here and distribute books, or can I do preaching? We can fight with Prabhupada for that. Prabhupada did that. Krishna, Andhra Prabhu was sharing that one day Krishna asked Prabhupada to come back. Prabhupada said, can I stay a few more here and preach? Prabhupada was having 2 heart attacks. Prabhupada was dying one day, and he asked his disciple, can you pray to Nrsimhadev that my spiritual master mission is not still over? Can you please give him a few more life, few more months, a few more years? So we can pray for that. Going back to Godhead is not a fun, but working hard, struggling for Srila Prabhupada is fun. It's a nectar, it's a honey. And that nectar, we don't want to get bereft of that nectar. At least we cannot be Hanumanji, but we can follow the footsteps of Hanumanji. Hare Krishna, I'm sorry, I'm not a good speaker, but I speak whatever comes in my heart. Any questions? Prabhu, any corrections, please? Mr. Bhagwan Prabhu, you want to say something? Yeah, oh, Prabhuji. Please, my dear Prabhu. By the way, this is a guy, by the order of his spiritual master, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He went to China, a communist country, to spread Krishna consciousness. He's not a common man.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hey, everybody. I was in Vrindavan on, it was Srila Prabhupada's. I was in Vrindavan, it was Srila Prabhupada's Vyas Puja, and so there was the leader of the Madhvacharya sect from South India, he's a sannyasi, and very famous actually. And so they asked him to speak about Srila Prabhupada. So he said to all of us, he said that in his estimation, that Srila Prabhupada is greater even than Lord Shiva. Srila Prabhupada ki!
Jai!
So then everybody thought, God, how can like a Hindu sannyasi say that? Like I was like, wow, man, what are the Indians thinking, And then he explained, he said that Lord Shiva, the reason he realized that was because Lord Shiva was able to bring down the Ganges River with his potency and allow the river to flow across India, Ganga to flow across India, and so people in India could get liberated. He said, but Prabhupada, he was able to bring down the whole ocean of love of God from Goloka Vrindavan and inundate the entire world with Krishna Prema.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada.
Can I share one pastime?
Yeah.
One day one devotee went to Andhra Prabhu, and Andhra Prabhu said, why do you came here? I want to do a bhajan with you. And Andhra Prabhu says, do you know what spiritual master is? And yes, Srila Prabhupada. He's a babbar sher. He's a lion. How can you do this? Go and preach. And he said, Andhra Prabhu, you're also doing this thing. If you know what I'm doing here, you will faint. They want to be Andhra Prabhu. But Andhra Prabhu said, go and preach, go and distribute books, and then you come here. Once your fruits are ripened, then you come and do this Nirjan Bhajan. Andhra Prabhu was not doing Nirjan Bhajan. Andhra Prabhu was preaching heavily to the community. If you can be Andhra Prabhu, do it. But the point is that why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praising Hanumanji and Prabhupada, because his missionary spirit, and that's, we should have it. All we should have it. If we don't have it, we should beg from Narottama Prabhu, he's a preacher.
You beg from Lord Chaitanya and Radha.
Any questions? Any corrections, Prabhus?
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
aapko kuch bolna hai, Prabhu, please. Any correction? Mataji, you want to speak something? Mataji, you want to speak something, please? Jai Gauranga Prabhu is another speaker. He's a book distributor in LA from long time. Jai Gauranga Prabhu ki Jai. Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Oh, you want to say something? Please, go on.
Hare Krishna.
Mr. Bhagavan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I just want to say that when we are talking about Hanumanji, so he jumped from India, and we know that if geographical, whatever we know that if Sri Lanka is Lanka, then he jumped from
Sure.
just from India to Sri Lanka. But
Okay.
our Srila Prabhupada, he came from all the way from India to USA, which is very, very far from that. And the time also, if you see, that is, he is Lord Shiva himself, like Hanuman, and that avatar, like Ekadashi Rudra avatar, he is. And Srila Prabhupada, he, what I'm saying that in this Kali Yuga, and he could do this, like we don't have that physical strength,
Yes.
but his mind was that much strong, like because Hanuman is like all the siddhis, his body itself had a lot of powers, like he's the Ekadash Rudra avatar. But Srila Prabhupada didn't show those bodily, those thing, he had 2 heart attacks and everything.
He did showed.
But I mean, obviously he showed, like, but in Kali Yuga we cannot conceive those things. So we saw that although he is a bodily feature, he shows look like us and even like old man, but he could do in this Kali Yuga, like from India to USA, and he is more than Hanumanji. That's what I feel.
Thank you. He's more than Hanumanji, yes.
Yes, he is like, it's like we should be very grateful that we could know him in this lifetime at least.
Oh, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Mataji,
that's
sure.
what my
When Prabhupada was
reflection.
passing away, thank you for sharing. When Prabhupada was in last 21st October, Prabhupada left his body, right? 14th November, Prabhupada left body. 13th November, he was preaching. He was lying on the bed. Have you seen the video? Anyone has seen the video? He's lying on the bed. Jayadat Maharaj was wearing the dictaphone, and Prabhupada can't even speak, and was preaching at that time. We are the grandson of that Hanumanji. And that's why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is praising Srila Prabhupada.
And like when I came to US first time, I was in Syracuse, that upstate New York. That reason.
Syracuse?
So I
We have a center over there now.
So when I came, that was a winter time. It was just starting, and I could not tolerate the cold. And when I heard, like when I went to the ISKCON center and I saw Prabhupada, and I got to know that at the age of 70 he came, and that cold he started his mission. I was like, that day itself he took my, like I just fell in. Like I said, okay, this is the man we should fall in love
Yes,
with,
yes.
and all the time.
Lower Manhattan is crazy. You've been in Lower
Yes.
Manhattan, right? Brooklyn?
I was-
Brooklyn Temple? You've been in Brooklyn Temple?
Yes, I was there in Brooklyn Temple.
Anyone who see the New York Mataji will not
Yes.
able to preach. They are so high level of dressed. Such a beautiful Matajis over there.
Yeah. We went for Harinam, so that was so cold, Prabhu. It was like beyond our imagination. And they say that global warming now, that much cold is not happening. So it means it was colder
Oh, I'm telling you, 50
when he
years
at
old.
that time. I
One day
cannot
Prabhupada
imagine.
saw the snow outside his house. He thought somebody put a white carpet. Look at this innocent gentleman.
So our Prabhupada is much more than Hanuman.
And he was he was staying somewhere else, so he had to walk in negative 10 degrees with the dhoti. Negative 10 with the dhoti to take a bath over there. What Prabhupada has faced, nobody can do it. Hare Krishna.